Welcome everyone to another radio-free Cybertron review. I'm your host Diecast, and here we have Generations Deluxe Arcee. Just picked her up today at Walmart. Actually, thanks to a friend of mine. Thanks, Rob. He picked this up for me, and I met him tonight and got it. And she looks really good in packaging. She has her own IDW comic that she comes with a nice picture of her on the background. And then you have her in robot mode right on the front, or I'm sorry, vehicle mode. She is Series 2, number 21. Then on the back here, here's her tech specs and her bio if you want to read that, but I'm not going to read it for you. And another picture of her in robot mode and vehicle mode. Sorry, when I get close to the camera, it tends to cut things off. This side, nothing. Let's get her opened up here. Get the comic out. As you can see, a really nice artwork of her. And here we have Arcee out of package with her weapons. Now, one thing I can say about her, there is a lot of places to store her weapons. As you can see, you can store them on the arm, on the leg, right on both sides there. And the guns are actually the same square port that the swords are using, so you could plug the gun in anywhere you wanted to plug the sword into, which is nice. Definitely, you have a lot of options with this figure. You could even have the gun, on her arm if you wanted. I don't know if you can hear that, but there are really nice ratchet joints, or fake ratchet joints at the elbow, and they go a lot more than a 90 degree. So she can almost touch her head. She can touch the top of her head, definitely. Her head is on a really nice ball joint. Lots of movement. And as you can see, a lot of light piping, which is nice when they are going to do a figure and have light piping. I really like when they get a lot in there. That way the eyes really shine. Let me see it. Now, someone said you can plug the swords in the back, but I really don't see these fitting in. I guess they can fit down. The paint on her is actually really nice too. The white is actually a lot whiter than I expected. Some of the photos, the white kind of looked yellow, but everything is really nice. The only paint issue I have with mine is on the top here of the car. You can actually see a scratch, and you can see like it's just rough around the edges, and this is just a pink plastic with white paint. So there's some white paint missing, and it's not bad, but it is a little disappointing, especially after how long we've waited for an Arcee figure. So take some of her guns off here. Also, as you can see, I have the hands that are closed, and apparently there's a revision, and I'm not sure which one is newer. I believe the open hand is the new revision for this figure. And the thing about the open hand is it probably looks a little bit nicer than that, but the weapons tend to fall out from what I understand. So if you can find one with the closed hand to hold the weapons, I would definitely recommend picking that up. Maybe getting two of these figures, one with the open hand and one with the closed hands, just so you can decide which one you like better. All right, so here we go with the transformation. Basically, the first thing you want to start to do is you want to come down here to her waist and just unclip that, and that'll allow this whole section to rotate up. And what you want to do is you want to push the head back, bring this back panel, pull that up, and then you just Arcee's head folds underneath, and then you kind of got to pull these two sides apart just a little bit, and it just tabs into the front there, and that's what creates that front section of her vehicle. Then you take this waist piece and just flip that down, and that just sits in there like that. As you can see, the wheels are little tiny black wheels. Um, they're actually held in with a little metal support, which is nice that they use that on this figure. Um, then the next thing you want to do is you want to take the hands and bring the hands all the way up, or the arms all the way up. And from what I've found, the actual correct way to peg this together, you have to use this gun, which is the small black gun, and you put the two pegs, there's one peg on each side, on each hand. And then it kind of straightens out her hands. So you want them to be just like that. And then it actually pegs in right where her waist pegged into. And of course, I probably should have pegged it in first and then her hands in. Yeah, that probably makes a little bit more sense. Or I had it backwards. I may have the gun backwards. Yeah, so basically you want the gun facing up, and then you peg that in, and that secures the arms, so that way they're not going to go anywhere. Next thing you want to do is probably come to the back here, flip this back panel out, and also make sure this front clips down. And now all you have to do is come back to the legs and flip the feet back like that, and then take the hips, take the legs, and pull them out, so you kind of get that wide-legged look. And then you're gonna just flip them around, and this is actually really ingenious what they did here. Instead of using a peg, they have a little round notch right inside there, that one right there. And when you bring that leg in, it'll actually clip into that notch. Same thing on this side. And then you come to this back section, and the back section will plug in right behind the legs. There's little tabs right there. And that's Arcee in her vehicle mode. Again, there is a gun storage for the larger gun. And what you can do is you actually take the back of Arcee, and it goes in a little crooked, but that pegs in right there. And then the knives, or the swords if you want, can plug into the top, or they can plug into the same place in the legs. Which kind of popped everything out now. And now it won't pop back in. Alright, there we go. And there goes that. But yeah, This also tends to pop out. I'm not really sure why it keeps popping out. I think it has something to do with the gun. When that plugs in, it gets in the way of that, or pops it up a little bit. She just got to pop it back down. You can also see there's some nice detail actually inside the vehicle. There's a nice little steering wheel. It's not coming up on the camera that great. But there's a steering wheel, a center console, everything. So definitely appreciate the details that Hasbro or Takara Tomy took in making this. It really feels like like a complete deluxe should. Just wish sometimes the paint could just be a little bit better. It would make this perfect. But as far as Arcee can go, this is definitely a great representation of Arcee. I can't think of what they could have done different to make this better. So just because this is such a short video, I'll actually transform her back into robot mode, which is actually the easier of the two. First thing you want to do is come around here and we'll dislodge this back section from the legs. You can actually go ahead and flip this piece under right away, just like so. Then unpop the legs. Actually helps if you grab the front of the foot and just kind of flick them down, rotate them around, and then straighten them out. Then you can straighten out the feet too. And just come to the top, unpin the hands and the gun, which gets her arms free, and pull them down. And then just flip this front piece up. That becomes her lower part of her waist. And then you pull the back panel down, and these little notches right here go over top of the arms, and then that clips in, and then you also have to clip her head in. Adjust the backpack however you want. There's really not a lot of movement you can get with the backpack. And there you have Arcee back in robot mode. For size comparison, here she is with Generations or Fall of Cybertron, Starscream. If you're gonna put her on your masterpiece shelf, here she is with Red Alert Masterpiece, and she is a little bit small to probably fit in with your masterpieces, especially if you're putting her next to Rodimus or Hot Rod. And here she is with a Deluxe or a Voyager, just to get the size difference between them. So, like I said, it's a work in progress, these reviews, getting the lighting down. I know it looks a little bit dark on the video today. I got 2 new lights and a light box, but I wasn't actually able to set up the light box in the location that I'm in right now. So appreciate you hanging in with me. I'm definitely going to be moving that light box around and trying to find a better place to record from so I can utilize that. And want to give a shout out to tformers.com. Guys, make sure to check out tformers.com, because those who know about Transformers know because they go to tformers.com.